Um, this is a kite called Thief. Um, I'm a relatively new YouTuber. I started a few months ago. I've mostly been editing music with um, Marvel and Star Wars snippets into YouTube Shorts. Um, I'm also not used to live streaming, so I might seem a little awkward. Just bear with me. But anyway, I I made this live stream so that I could give my thoughts about The Mandalorian Season 3, which just premiered its finale yesterday. So if any of you haven't seen it and don't want spoilers, I suggest you go watch it. Probably stop watching me, although nobody's actually watching right now, but I don't know. Anyway, just you can leave if you don't want spoilers. But anyway, I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought that the first two seasons were better, but I thought this one was amazing. I do feel like I have some things to critique on it, but anyway, I'm just gonna go through each of the episodes and give my thoughts about them. So, it was the first episode. We got um Mando uh he went to um he went back to the Creed just as they were being attacked by this giant crocodile dragon dinosaur creature, which was super awesome. And then he defeats it. And then he asks to he asks the armorer to be redeemed, and she says the only way to be redeemed is if you bathe in the living waters on Mandalore. And so he goes to Mandalore. He pays a visit to Grief Karga, um, who's now High Magistrate. Um, I don't have to. Okay, again, this is my first time live streaming, so I'm awkward. Bear with me, but I'm just saying I don't think I need to go through each of the things that happened in it. I just need to give my thoughts. That's what I need to do. Okay, um, my thoughts. I thought first episode was a slow start, but I think it was good. Like I enjoyed it. It was paced a little bit weird, but it was great. Um, I thought it was good to see all of the Mandalorians. I thought it was good to see Grief Karga and good to see Mando again. I mean, I stink and love him. Then episode two, that was the one oh yeah, that was the one where he went into the mines of Mandalore and he got captured by okay. That creature is if you know what I'm talking about, that cyborg creature he met in the cave that captured him. That was so creepy. That was so creepy. I thought it, I thought it was so cool though. And have Grogu being brave enough to go on his own, well, with R5, but like on his own to go and find Bo-Katan and bring her back. That was really big. Um, and I thought episode 3 was kind of interesting because it didn't really focus on Mando very much. He bathed in the waters and now he's heading back, but it mostly focused on Dr. Pershing, and it gave me kind of it gave me kind of Andor vibes. Like I don't know if it was because he was on Coruscant or he was uh just the whole dynamic of it's I guess it's because Andor li- really gives you the human in the Star Wars characters, and I felt like at that point we really got to see how human Dr. Pershing was. Um, like trying to break a bad habit, but and having good intentions, but sometimes things don't work out. Like he wants to do cloning, but just doesn't work with the New Republic. And he cares so much about it because of his mother who died, I think. And he goes as far as to break the rules. And oh my gosh, bringing Elia Kane back, that was pretty interesting. It was pretty interesting. But like I saw from this, like it seemed pretty obvious that she was like being overly nice to him from the start. And it's not surprising to me that she betrayed him. But I thought it was kind of cool how they were on the Sky Train, and the droids were asking for tickets, and Dr. Pershing and Kane, they get to the end of the train and they have to jump off. It almost kind of reminded me of it's a little like Polar Express in a weird way. Um, and he gets his cloning stuff only for her to betray him, and then we don't see him again, which is heartbreaking. That I mean, he meant well, but yeah, it's sad that he's gone. But anyway, the next episode. So yeah, I thought that was a really good episode, and that at the end that Bo-Katan joined the Creed, and that she was totally like she seemed totally okay with it. That was pretty cool. Let's see, what was the next episode? Um, okay, the next one I think was about Paz Vizsla's son, I believe. Um, and yeah, I think that was it. He got Grogu was training to join the Creed, and he was training with Paz Vizsla's son, who had just who had just joined the Creed at the beginning of episode 1, and that was so funny, and we could totally see the father-son dynamic between Din and Grogu, and that was awesome. And we're starting to kind of see Bo-Katan sort of becoming a mother to him too, which I really liked. Um, and then Paz's son gets captured by that ginormous pterodactyl bird thing, and then they get they go after him. Like, yeah, that was it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. Episode 5, I really liked. I really liked episode 5. With Carson Teva, the New Republic pilot who had appeared in Mando season 1 and 2, and I think season 2, and in Book of Boba Fett. Um, he's getting worried about the pirates on Navarro, and then the pirates like attacking, and how he can't get help from the New Republic. And it was so cool because we got a Zeb cameo. And as a Star Wars Rebels fan, I'm like, yes, that's awesome. And they did a good job. Like, I always am a little bit anxious about bringing animated Star Wars characters into live action. Like, I was so disappointed with how they made the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother look in Obi-Wan Kenobi. And they acted wrong too, but that's not the point. Basically, I was really worried, but they were spot on with Zeb. Like spot on. It was cool to see him, but it was nice that Carson Teva was able to go to the Mandalorians and get them to help, even though it didn't feel like it felt like Din Djarin was always trying to get away from him, but he still felt able to go and ask for his help. And then seeing um Paz Vizsla give that speech saying, yes, we should help Din, we should help Grief Karga defeat those pirates. I wasn't always on good terms with Din, but after he saved my son, I respect him. Like that was wonderful. Like that was just wonderful. Um, so I was really glad to see that. Um, and the lead pirate guy's pretty interesting. He's like a moss dude. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should really look look him up. He's ridiculous, but it still worked. I also thought it was really cool the ship that he was flying. That was a I recognized it because it's appeared in like comics in Star Wars Legends, mainly Dark Empire. It was like the lead Imperial Star Destroyer, and Dark Empire's legend, of course. So you probably won't mind that I spoil it for you and say that it's about Palpatine surviving, and he's on that ship. And of course, in Mando, the ship is like way smaller, but like still, it was same shape and everything. So it was definitely based off the one in Legend, the Star Destroyer in Legends. So that was really cool. It was cool to see them uh, fight the pirates. It almost kind of gave me a Book of Boba Fett vibe when in the last episode, Fett and Din and Fennec were fighting the Pikes. It felt pretty similar to that kind of that street gun battle. Um, and then I found it really interesting um, that the armor asked Bo-Katan to move her helmet, but at the same time, it I just thought it's about time. Like how in Star Wars Rebels, Sabine was the one to gather and reunite the Mandalorians, and it's time for that to happen again. And it's cool that the armor thinks that trusts Bo-Katan to do that, and that she is I don't know about trust, but that just that she seemed so set on the way of the watch of like keeping your helmets on and I don't know, this is the way. But to allow Bo-Katan to remove her helmet and to unite all of the Mandalorians and accept that there's more than one way, it seemed new for the armor, but it still didn't seem like surprising. And I loved the end of the episode when Carson Teva found evidence of Moff Gideon um, escaping. So yeah, one of the that was one of the better episodes. Episode 6, on the other hand, totally unnecessary. Like the only necessary part was when she found Axe Woves and the other Mandalorians. But other than that, it was just stupid. It was like it felt like Marvel almost. Like it felt like they were going like the planet they were on was like the one planet in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. And then to make it even weirder, we we get celebrity cameos from Christopher Lloyd and Jack Black and Lizzo, which we already knew about Christopher Lloyd, but he was supposedly going to play a Mandalorian, but no, he ended up playing this guy in charge of the droids of the planet. And then uh, I didn't like the acting style though of Jack Black and Lizzo. Um, but it's not like bad acting. It's just different. But I didn't. And then like the whole thing about the droids being in the bar and Din and Bo like uncovering that mystery about the droid's activation system or whatever. Like it didn't really seem to add anything to the story. Like it just didn't. Like don't get me wrong, it was like it was good. I enjoyed watching it, but it didn't feel right for Star Wars. Um okay. And then episode 7 was might be my favorite one, where we learned that it was Moff Gideon who had hired the pirates, and that in this okay, the scene where it goes on the Shadow Council. Oh my gosh. Legends. Like Captain Paleon, seeing him, he's been around in Legends like since the 90s, with the old Timothy Zahn novel, Heir to the Empire. It was a trilogy of books. But and we hear his voice in Star Wars Rebels, but we actually get to see him for the first time um, on on screen, along with General Hux's father, like General Hux from the sequel trilogy, his father in the Shadow Council, and I thought that was just awesome. Talking about Grand Admiral Thrawn, it like gets me really hyped for the Ahsoka series coming up, and it's probably setting that up. But just to learn that Moff Gideon, um, was behind everything. Um, um, but moving on, that episode was yeah, was my favorite. Seeing Moff Gideon in the Beskar armor was just sick. It was so cool. It was so cool. And meeting those Mandalorians on the like uniting all the Mandalorians and going to the actual planet, meeting more on the surface, learning that Bo-Katan surrendered the dark saber. That was really surprising to me. I thought it was so cool. And then then them fighting the Imperial Mandalorians, Mando getting captured, Paz Vizsla dying. That was really sad for me because he could really see him having a change of heart throughout the third season, with him being a little bit hostile towards Din because he has the dark saber, especially like we see that in Book of Boba Fett. Um, but to see him willingly go forward, sacrifice his life, dude, it's awesome. And he fell to Praetorian guards, which is like directly setting up the sequel trilogy, which I think is so cool. Like, I'm so glad that The Mandalorian is like connecting to the sequel trilogy as if to like make it make more sense. Like, that's kind of what we need. Like, I I'm one of the people that kind of likes the sequel trilogy, but I still think there's a lot of flaws to it, and I feel like The Mandalorian is starting to kind of put that together. Um, and then the final episode also absolutely epic. Finally seeing it all come together, all of the Mandalorians fighting, Din having a showdown with Moff Gideon, and Grogu fighting the Praetorian guards. Like, that was fantastic. Oh, how could I forget? Previous episode leading into this one, he gets Grogu gets IG-11 back, which is like super special, and you can see how excited he is, like with the walking around, like, yes, no, 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 like he broke up Paz and Axe from fighting. He's like, no, 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 no. Um, it was sad to see that get destroyed by the Praetorian guards. But anyway, before even watching the finale, I was already like so sure that Moff Gideon was gonna die because I felt like they were running out of stuff to do with him. But he did, which I was totally hoping for. Not that I dislike Moff Gideon, but just I feel like they've done all they could with him. Um, but it was nice. It was nice that Grogu was able to save Din and Bo from the explosion by using the Force. Like, kind of pulled a Kanan Jarrus. Um, and then seeing Mandalore back again and Din taking Grogu as his son, since Grogu's too young to speak the oath of the Creed. Din takes him as an apprentice, and it is so sweet. Adopts him as his son, which he already was, but now like officially doing it, it was great. And the final scene with, like, after he rebuilds IG-11, which is stinking awesome. Um, talks with Grief Karga, and Grief Karga gets him a house. We see Din sitting on the porch of the house, watching Grogu force lift a frog, and that's like it feels so real life. Like, of course, real people can't use the Force, but like a father watching his son w- watching from the porch, watching his son play, which which seems I don't know. It's just I thought it was absolutely adorable, and how they like closed the shot, like they brought it down on Grogu dropping the frog and then ending it, and that was just that was just awesome. Um, so for the season overall, I would say it was really good. I would say season one and season two were both better. Oh, before I move on, also in that episode when Din talks with Carson Teva about working indirectly with the New Republic on destroying the Imperial remnants, if you look carefully, seated behind Carson Teva, you can see a guy in a w- in a hat, and that's actually Dave Filoni. And I noticed it, and then I looked, and then I found something online about it, and I'm like, dude, I was right. It was Dave Filoni. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Excuse me. Um, but overall, the season as a whole it was the worst one, but but it isn't bad. It's just the worst one because the first two were better. But season three was still pretty good. I thought the story moved too fast at some parts and too slow at other parts. Like I felt like the finale was a little bit too short, and the second to last episode was too long. Like in the second to last episode, when they get to Mandalore, they meet the other Mandalorians who are on that skiff thing, and then they say, "Let's take back Mandalore." And then there's that music of them taking off. I feel like it could have ended there, and the finale could have started when they got to the mines and got attacked by the Imperials and Paz sacrificed himself. Like I feel like if they made the finale a little bit longer, that might have worked more. And then the other thing I was kind of disappointed about was the Moff Gideon clones. Like since the very start of the Mandalorian, they've been building up on what are the what is Moff Gideon doing? And I kept thinking, oh, he's gonna it's gonna be like Snoke or something, or I don't know. But just to find out that he's been cloning himself, that doesn't feel right. Like I feel like Moff Gideon would be smart enough to know that if he made more clones of himself, he would be it would be kind of he'd be rival. They would be rivals with him. It's like the Kang variants in Marvel. Um and so much buildup just to see Din and Grogu drain their tanks so they don't even activate. So we we don't even see him. Yet the first yet all three seasons were kind of building up to that. So that was a little bit disappointing, but I don't mind. Like I don't mind. I'm just it's fine. Um but yeah, I think that if the finale was a little longer and they had used part of the second to last episode as the finale, I feel like that would have been a little bit better. Um I feel like they're starting to bring in more what they call filler episodes. Like they especially did that in Bad Batch season 2. But like episodes where the story just moves too slow. And I felt that way with the one with the celebrity cameos. And I thought the first I don't know. There were just several episodes that moved a little bit slower, and I thought it was a little bit too much about Bo-Katan and not enough about Din and Grogu. We didn't really get to see as much as I wanted of them, yet by the end I feel like it was kind of worth it. And that's like how I felt with Book of Boba Fett. Like I didn't feel like it was enough about Boba Fett, but by the end it all just kind of connected. So that's how I felt about this. Um, but I really wish I had seen more Grogu and Din. Although what we did see of them was absolutely fantastic. The development of their relationship is amazing, and I can understand why they didn't put more do more than they did in there, I guess, because I don't know how to explain it, but like it just makes sense, but I'm still a little disappointed that we didn't get more of them. I mean, Bo-Katan's a cool character and all, but it's not the book of Bo-Katan. It's the Mandalorian. But anyway, I thought it was I thought it was fantastic. Um, I'll give it a good 77 out of 100. Probably, I don't know, maybe higher. It was great. It was great. I guess there's still no one watching, but I guess I'll end it there. And um, sorry for how awkward I am in live streaming. This is one of my first times, but I think I'm gonna end it there. Let me know. Let me know what you guys thought, and I'll catch you all later. Hey, how do I turn this off? Sorry. Oh, okay. There we go. Bye.